Gentlemen, who taught you how to be a man? That's a wild question, huh? Who taught you how to be a man? Naturally, you look to your father, but was it? Was it your father that taught you how to be a man? I think if you really look at that question and analyze it, some of you start to really talk about your father and go, he didn't do such a good job. Or you start looking at your dad and think, well, there's things that are missing. Or you start looking at your grandpa. It's always your lineage, right? But does it have to be? Most of our fathers didn't know what it meant to be a man. They just provided for you and were probably the disciplinarian on some level, or if they're even present at all. A lot of you had fathers that were there but weren't there. You know, they took care of you and kept food on the table, but that's about it. So we all had these different fathers. I like this saying, I think it's by Nietzsche, that said, what was silent in the father sings in the son. What was silent in the father sings in the son. So, who taught you how to be a man? That's the question we're asking today here on this Walk and Talk Live. For me, it was nature. Nature taught me how to be a man. Still teaches me. I had a father that had kind of an upper limit problem. He was present, and I knew he loved me, but he never said he loved me. It's that kind of deal. Strong mother wrapped around that, controlling. But Dad, I he's a good man. He absolutely did his best. I've made my peace with my father. He's no longer on this planet. But he never really showed me how to be a man. He showed me what he knew, which was mostly survival. God love him. And he also showed me what he knew about money, which was highly limited. So who taught you how to be a man? I was on the phone yesterday with a 17-year-old young man. It's really a blessing. 17-year-old young guy, and he's like, I'm just trying to figure out, he's like, should I know what I want to do with my life? And I'm like, no, you shouldn't. You're 17. You should be just experiencing life. And no, you should be traveling. You should be having fun. You should be dating girls and experimenting with your who you are. But I said, that's not the way it's going to go for you. You were. While you can always find someone worse off than you were born into some disadvantages. Your dad's not present. You live and grew up with your mom and your niece. Your older brother got a young girl pregnant and left the baby at your mom's house for you and her to raise. You're surrounded by women, and women don't understand your aggression. And so we just had a nice little conversation about that. I was like, right now, you were born into a life of disadvantage. It's only going to get worse. And that's not fair. But you got to become a man earlier than most men. And you got to surround yourself with other men that'll mentor you and love you, guide you. But right now, 17, you're a man. We just had that conversation. You know, and he's done well for himself, but he's got some struggles, right? Smoking weed. He's been pilled up for his aggression since he was young. Told he's got ADD, got all these labels on him, just straight up bullshit. And I hope it was affirming to say, you're 17, you should have aggression. That's what I told him. You should be in the gym 6-7 days a week. You should want to fight. You should want to fuck. You should want to do all those things. That's good. And I said, and women don't understand this. That scares them. They don't get it. They want you nice. And they want you calm. They want you pleasant. Those are all feminine, peaceful. Those are all beautiful but very feminine qualities. And you need to be leaning into your aggression, but you got to find a healthy outlet for it. Otherwise, it will find itself. And so I'm talking to the guys that may not be 17 right now. How many of us on this, are running around in the world? And I saw it. Geez, I'm in my early 50s and I have all that in me, right? So who's teaching us how to be a man? Is it social media? Kids following, I say kid, young man is following Jordan Peterson. Awesome. Following Andrew Tate before he was locked away. Something sinister going on there. It's like, what do you like about Andrew? Do you like Andrew Tate? I was like, he's a little brash, but he says some things that are pretty legit when it comes to being a man. He's a total womanizer, but whatever. When it comes to just the essence of masculinity, I knew it was something that the young man could follow and could reach him. A lot of things the kid could be looking at. No big fan of Andrew Tate, but there's some things he says that are pretty legit. I don't know where he is now. Why he's in prison for a couple of months. Anyway, but I just told him, and I think I'm talking to all men. The world does not want you dangerous, aggressive, strong, violent. That scares the world. That scares the feminine. That scares most women. Most women can't handle that. They don't understand that power in a man because they got their own traumas. So when it comes to men's work, when I see women wanting to help men in men's work, I just I'm like, what? Okay, cool, I guess. If they've got mom wounds, maybe, I don't know. But men need other men, period. And we are our environment, full stop. We are going to mimic and repeat the things that we see around us at crazy levels, which is why TV, media, politics, distractions are everywhere, because they want you mimicking what you see on TV. Broke, poor. I know that sounds like such a bleak outlook, but look around. Look around. There's so many distractions. I think we probably had one of the biggest news stories in the world last week with Russia and China coming together, brokering all kinds of treaty deals. Massive superpowers that are not fans of the U.S. I was reading that, or watching that I think it's China brokered a deal between Iran and the other country, the two that have hated each other since the beginning of time, are now brokered into a peace treaty. Mexico's being brought into this brick of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Major news, but what are we talking about? Trump possibly getting arrested. I just told the guys, listen, you live in planet mind control. You live in a world that is dominated by the devil and dark forces that want you dead, physically dead. And I don't think men really get that. They don't really get that. I don't think they really understand that. I love I love that part in the movie Fight Club where Tyler Durden is the famous speech. We're in a spiritual war. We never had our Great Depression. We never had our World War II. That's why the baby boomers and the generation before them were so strong. Because they had massive, massive challenges. And they weren't scrolling their phones and checking out TikTok videos and, jerking off in the closet. And now they had other problems, but, a man's duties were get to work, provide for your family, protect your family, go to church, know God. It was pretty simple for some of them. And life has changed. It's gotten more complicated. A man has to be more things nowadays. He's got to have some essence to him. He's got to have some presence. He's got to be able to, he can't be a knuckle dragger, which is great, right? He needs to take care of himself and be more emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent. The world's just calling for different types of men now. And I think that's beautiful. But in that, we've lost some of our rituals of being men, right? A man now with a gun is dangerous and is violent and sinister. Not at all. Knowing how to control that. Have any of you men ever been on a horse and have that feeling? Have you ever grown anything of your own? Do you know where your food comes from? Do you know where that water comes from when you just simply lift the spout and flowing water turns on? 30 seconds later, hot water comes on. I mean, it's really a miracle. And if you've ever, just primitive camped for a night or two, I mean, can you imagine, with fancy gear, bringing all your food in at a reserved campsite that's been cleared, that's got a bathroom, a couple of campsites down, maybe showers. I mean, that's the level of primitive that we're used to. And that's not primitive. So, who has taught you how to be a man? I think that's a conversation, a beautiful conversation that we all need to be asking ourselves as guys, and say, okay, we need to be training in other ways. And where are we in our 4 pillars of strength, right? Physical always comes first. Always comes first. Health is the new wealth. Then intellectual, what's going on in our brain and our emotions? What are our thought patterns? Do you know your values? What beliefs are rolling around in you? I'm in the middle of getting my pilot certifications to be a pilot, and I'm in all kinds I've bumped up against all kinds of ideas and beliefs I have about how I learn. And I'm feeling that little kid in me who's like, I'm not smart enough, and my memory doesn't work. And I just had to stop and just be with that and be like, wait a minute. I need to tell myself a better story. My brain works. I can learn audibly. I'm not a limited learner, but I had some of those stories. And so that's intellectual, pillar of strength. If I didn't deal with that, I wouldn't be able to learn. I wouldn't be able to really advance in what I'm doing. I would struggle. So I had to let go of that belief. It took me a couple days. I'm still working with it with self-hypnosis. Amazing, by the way. If you want amazing change, just plug your headphones in, listen to self-hypnosis. Fall asleep to it. Let your subconscious just soak all that beauty in. Michael Seeley on YouTube is incredible. His voice. Marissa Peer is also good. Third is spiritual. Spiritual helps everything. Find that higher power, some type of God, something that you believe in, something that you'll bend a knee to and say, this is my path. I love you. A loving force looking out for you daily. Spiritual. I heavily recommend, especially for you guys, ceremonial grade cacao. I recommend that for every one of my clients, especially my more warrior types. A ceremonial grade cacao. Email me and I'll send you a recipe for how to kind of mix it up. And I'll just tell you right now. just take ceremonial grade cacao, shave it up, put it in a pan, warm it lightly, put in some coconut oil, some ghee, maybe some cinnamon, little almond milk, so that it's kind of syrupy. Pray to it, drink it, sit on the couch, just close your eyes, and just meditate for about an hour. Let that cacao just open your heart. Let it open your heart and feel, feel your feelings. Golly, that's something we men have learned in this generation that our former generations didn't allow for. We get to have feelings. It's okay to have feelings. I think that's one of our beautiful places of growth in our masculinity, which is helping. And then lastly, your financial pillar of strength. I can't tell you how many people have told me, Robin, go get a job. As if that's some type of nobility. Job stands for just over broke. You're never going to get wealthy in a job. Jobs are great for stability. Jobs are great for, keeping the bills paid. But that's the way this world wants you. Compliant. You started out in 12 years of a government indoctrination camp called school. That was, proven not to work. Like, that's not how children learn. Is sitting at a school desk for 6-7 hours a day and then putting them on Ritalin if they can't sit still. Ugh, our school systems are an absolute nightmare. Parents, get your kids out of school. Wow, what a mess. But your financial pillar of strength. Never before has it been easier to start a business. Never before. There is money and financing out there everywhere. There's so many needs. Yes, it's complicated. Yes, it's difficult. Start yourself up a side hustle. Buy back your days, but have some type of independence. And if you don't think that's possible, message me. That's an upper limit problem. It's in your mind. It's not real. But get those pillars of strength in place and train physically, train intellectually, train spiritually, push yourself, train yourself financially to live below your means. Train. There's a good old saying, I think it's by the Marines. Sounds like something the Marines would say. Those who bleed more in times of peace bleed less in times of war. And war is coming. War is coming. And you don't hear people talking about that on mainstream media, that's for sure. Get onto some of these back channels, Telegram, Signal. Follow some of these awakeners. Follow the truth movement. If you want to know how mind control works, jump on Jason Christoph's site at jchristoff.com. An early 50s year-old man, Canadian, moved to Mexico, and has been studying mind control and word magic and how the elite and deep state all has been in control of the world. Just get on his articles. Go to articles and put your name on his email list. And this guy researches stuff like for years. The guy's just a researcher, and he's a businessman, which is kind of cool, and has had some success in business. But he's the one that taught me a lot about self-sabotage, and he'll really, some stuff may seem a little out there, but he'll plant some seeds. But get with these. There's a truth movement. They call it the truth movement. They call them truthers. And these are people that are seeking truth, hunting for truth. Know that this world is in the power of major darkness, and people are waking up to it. And so get into this content. Find truth movement. You're not going to find a lot of this on Google. That's for sure. Not with all the censorship going on. Learn the truth about this whole COVID lie. Learn the truth about the trans agenda. And I'm not talking about or hating on good men and women. By the way, men and women, only two genders. I'm not talking about adults that choose to live another way. Love them, great. Got no beef with that. You live any way you want to live. But I'm talking about groomers and an agenda towards children that are putting these kids on puberty blockers and convincing them to cut off their body parts and be all this non-binary. That's also part of school problem. But seek these people out. I do my best here with just showing up. I got a huge heart for men, seeing men and women come together and heal and transform and know their mind, not be in mind control, really work with their subconscious. ultimately, I'm a performance coach. I just want to see you win. Oh my God, I get so jacked up when someone wins. I had a client message me this morning and say he's trying to get off coffee, and he's like, I'm just having such a hard time. Then he tells me, but I'm drinking 1 cup of yours. I recommend a certain type of coffee that has got like almost no caffeine in it. And I said, if you're having problems, drink 1 cup of mine and 1 cup of yours. And he's doing that. And I'm like, dude, awesome win. You've just lowered your caffeine intake by half. Caffeine, by the way, is a very potent drug that keeps you in fight or flight. It stimulates your parasympathetic nerve system, blocks your brain activity, kills brain cells. Really bad for you on a lot of levels. And then coffee itself has a lot of toxicities in it. It's very acidic. It's usually loaded with pesticides and some really bad stuff. Why do you think there's coffee shops on every block? Starbucks was going broke. Guess who bought them out? Bill Gates. Bill Gates helped Starbucks survive and turn into the empire that it is now. Why do we think these government elites want us all jacked up on coffee and alcohol? They call it alcohol. I think it's an Arabic word meaning to cull. Some really cool word magic all around us. Desserts, spelled backwards, is stressed. Where did I get the word desserts from? Dessert means stressed. Well, evil, spelled backwards, is live. Devil, spelled backwards, is lived. I mean, why is the Gmail symbol the same as the Masonic symbol? Anyway, there's some crazy stuff out there, and the truth movement will highlight a lot of this. And just all it does is just wake up your mind. It's not about beliefs or pushing you to any certain agenda or, oh, you got to think this way or that way. It's just opening your mind to look at it and go, okay, I'm going to watch that. Because as men, we need to be watchful. Our heads need to be in a swivel. Can't tell you how many men I walk up behind just on my walk. They don't have no idea I'm there. Like, I could totally jack you. You don't even know. Like, men, know what's around you. Have situational awareness. Carry a knife. Know how to own a gun. Know how to defend yourself with your hands. Know how to protect your woman, right? So that she feels safe. Somebody comes in your home. Walk your house at night and make sure all your locks are turned, your windows are done. Mount up. Know your surroundings. Make you feel strong, right? Get your testosterone in check, right? All of this. Know your warrior. If you're having problems with this or struggling in this area, check out Mankind Project. And they do the work from a book called King, Warrior, Lover, Magician. And the idea is every man has a healthy and a shadow king, lover, warrior, magician archetype inside of him. And these guys have a warrior weekend where they talk about that. And then they meet once or twice a month in smaller groups where you get to really share that and what's going on. And it really support you. Really support you. Another one is Sacred Sons, which is pretty powerful. And these warrior weekends are $200-300. It's not a lot of money. You know, you can get sponsorships around them if you're struggling financially. But get to one of these. Let these guys help you. And let these become part of them. Not just let them help you, but become part of these circles of men that are doing this work. And it'll teach you and model with you, not just for you, but will model with you what it means to have healthy conflict, to have a charge against another man and be able to clear it. What it means to really go after your vision and your mission. What is your mission? Be able to develop all that. To live as a king, to soften and live as a lover, and to play and build in times for yourself where you can explore and play and laugh and feed yourself. Times of magician where you can go within and see the darkness, do the mirror, bring back the wisdom to the king and the people that need it. So anyway, I covered a lot, but who is teaching you how to be a man? It's a great question. If you don't know, you need to find out. Reach out to me if I can help you. I'm Robin Reed. You can find me at robinreedauthor.com. Put a / in front of that and do call, CALL. And you can fill out a little questionnaire there, just brief, and put a time on your schedule, on my schedule. And we'll have like a little 20, 30-minute discovery call. And it's totally free. It's complimentary. Nothing's free. It's complimentary. But time for us to dig in and just kind of put a roadmap together for you of maybe this question, what's robbing you? Where are you self-sabotaging? How do you feed your masculinity? And if we work together, hey, that's great. We'll figure that out. If not, it's okay too. Let's just get you a roadmap. I run this as a ministry, by the way. So I just kind of, I'm well provided for, but I just kind of do this because it's a calling, truthfully. I love it. I want to see people win. I'm a performance coach. I want to see people win. I want to see you win. If that's not a fit for you, just a little free gift, robinreedauthor.com, and then / and do Epic Life, one word, Epic Life, and download my free book, Epic Life, How to Get What You Want Without Sacrificing Your Soul, which is kind of a fun read. About 100 pages. Just talks to you about your thoughts and how you talk and how you show up, and comes with a little email support and all of that. And it's an easy read. You'll feel good after you read it, right? You'll go back to your spouse and correct things. You'll love her better. You'll show up stronger for yourself, for your boss, for your business, for your customers. You'll just be a little more truer, right? How to level up. It's about progress, not perfection. All right. I love you guys. Happy, what's today? Thursday? Happy Thursday here on Walk and Talk Day. Much love. Reach out to me if I can help you. Live strong.